Nexxlegacy.
All right. This is Nexxlegacy Radio. I am branded here with an icon, not just a Bay legend, not just a regular rap dude who is amongst other people. Man, this man has done so much for the hip hop community, so much for the art form that is music, that I wanted to reach out to this man and literally just pay the way and say thank you. Not just giving this man his flowers, but tapping into the Bullies with Foolies brand and the fact that this man has gave me ultimate memories over the course of time. And I need y'all to fuck with my guy. He's on IG. You can hit him up at The Real Juice, Guce. Get Paid Music Group, the brand Bullies with Foolies. I got my homeboy Juice right here on Nexxlegacy Radio. What's up, man? What's up?
Man, you got me over here looking around like, who are you talking about? I need to clap my hands for that person. What's going on, man? Oh, man.
I'm living the dream right now, man, for years, bro. And I know I hit you on DMs kind of telling you a little story. Just, I mean, it's kind of like we grew up together in a sense because, you know,
right.
Been fucking with you since we had tapes, right? You know what I mean? And
right.
It doesn't matter what part of the Bay you from. It doesn't matter what part of the city or state you from. Anytime you can connect with somebody on a music level or appreciate good music and the brand that was laced up from it has to be acknowledged, bruh. So you did a lot for where I'm at today based on the music that you put out back then and still to this day. So I had to say, Juice, thanks, bruh. For real.
Man, you know, first and foremost, man, you're welcome, and I appreciate you, you know, just taking the time out to just be honest about, you know, what it really is that, you know, and how you feel and what your perspective is. And it makes me feel good to the point where the legacy, you know, I can see a brother like you, and I'm just going deep right quick, but I can see a brother like yourself speaking at my funeral. You see what I mean? Because it's not about the cars and the jewelry and all of that and the money and all of that. You know, it's about the impact that you have on an individual's life and what you do for them. And so I just appreciate, you know, just you speaking on that, man. And it's just a blessing, man, to be able to still be here. You know, unfortunately, you know, we've had a lot of losses. And the way you reached out to me, man, it just touched me, you know, and I just felt your words and your aura. And it was deep enough to say, you know what, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do this, you know, because I ain't never been no bougie dude. I'm humble, you know, and I'm from the soil,
right.
You know, and if you tap in and you holler, I holler back, you know what I mean? So, again, thank you. I appreciate you, and it's a blessing. And, you know, hey, we here. We here, man.
Hey, we here, and we're going to stay connected, and a lot of it just based on history. So, I mean, I know you got some stuff already ready for the people out there to consume, but I'm gonna take you back for a minute and ask you about this. This is the first time we had like true dialogue, so I just wanna emphasize the fact that, no doubt, hey, I want to emphasize the impact that the brand, the Bullies with Foolies legacy, is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated process as far as your albums off of this brand, in my opinion, in hip hop history, because it did bring a lot of energy with these projects. So I'm gonna ask you this, Juice. When did looking back, compared to like the first one, compared to, you know, how you feel about all things Bullies with Foolies, but it's a brand that I feel like people gotta respect and appreciate. But also, how did, looking back, did you ever feel like, yo, this made an impact on hip hop history?
Well, of course. You know, it's funny that you asked that question, because I thought like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think all those years back and how I was thinking, like I was ahead of the city, like I was ahead of everything that was around me, because I was already thinking that this is going to impact, you know, the Bay Area, the West Coast, you know, and the world, you know, as far as the hip hop community is concerned, because I was already thinking of doing collaborations with other artists outside of the city, and nobody else was doing it at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everybody, you know, the whole player poppy collar movement was going on, but I was thinking about something else, and I went and took an artist from Oakland who was at the top of their game, right? You know, 3 Times Crazy, my cousin Adrian, man, and then I went and took Killer K that was over there with West Coast Mafia with Sibo and Mafia, all those guys, and I put those guys together, and I created this movement that hit the Bay Area like a tsunami. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. You know, and because it was unexpected, you know, nobody had ever done anything like that, with the exception of Hearn still trying to survive in the ghetto, right? You know, Uncle Hearn Lewis.
Right.
He did the compilation, but it's not the same as a collaboration. I was doing like full projects with individuals, and so yeah, man, definitely, I knew in my heart that when I came up with that ideal, you know, I planned to win, excepting if I could have possibly failed. You know what I mean? And I knew that it was going to be something that just would have that was going to stand out against everything, because I was thinking outside the box, and I wanted to take, you know, our lifestyle, our culture, and everything about us. I wanted to take it across the world, and I wanted, you know, my main thing was being able to put out a certain type of music that I would be able to jump out in New York and they would be able to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the goal. That was the goal. And I was already thinking back then, after I do this with Killer Tay, I'm gonna do it with somebody else. I'm gonna do it with somebody else. I was already thinking that. It was already planned back in 96, 97, 98, around that time. Yeah, definitely.
You had the origin story of Bullies with Foolies, and I feel like as you're talking about it, you know, I could literally close my eyes and remember the first time I put that tape in, and I remember the first time that, you know, amongst the group in my neighborhood, I think I was living in Oakland at the time, and the fact that we was all amped up just with that energy, because a lot of people fail to realize, like, you know, recording obviously is a lot different nowadays than it was back then. Trying to get to a studio or trying to be able to put certain things out is different. But your origin story of Bullies with Foolies, like when you sought out Killer Tay and you basically just said it yourself, you had the determination of making this different, that every state and city and block can feel, right? So when I think about it, I always think that with every story comes like a process where you feel like, you know what, at the end of the day, this was great, but this is still like, you know, a stepping stone. So this is just only phase 1 of my life or whatever. So, you know, looking back at that, I always believe in, you know what I'm saying, the process of how things are and should be. So my question to you is, like, when you do scale back, and you know, before we start talking about new shit too, like, when you scale back and look at it and you had that determination, like, you know, I always feel like the process is important. So when you finalize that first album, did you literally say, look, this is gonna change things?
Well, let's so let's scale back a little bit, and then I want you to ask me the question again. See, the thing about it is, like, I'm big on intentions, right?
Right.
When you look at the Bullies with Foolies, when you really, really, really dig deep into the Bullies with Foolies, when you look at the features, you look at Adrian, Man, you look at Yuckmouth, you look at the production, you look at the artists on there, Spice One, Killer Tay, Billy Bassgate, Marvelous, when you the Outlaws, right? I had the Outlaws on there. Tupac had just died. You know, we went out there to L.A. to the studio where Tupac recorded at, and, you know, we went to his favorite restaurant and ate El Polo Loco Chicken, is Tupac's favorite restaurant. So we went there and we ate some chicken, and we went back and we did a real, you know, heartfelt song on Tupac's birthday. We did Ride for Pac from the Bullies with Foolies album. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper, because when I'm talking about intentions was, I was willing to step outside of the box. And this is the reason why I love bringing this up, right? Because of the politics between San Francisco and Oakland.
Right.
See, remember, they never used to get along, and it always used to be fighting, and it always, remember, you know what I'm saying? And so I went and got a producer from Oakland, which was DJ Durrell, which was Tupac's producer. See what I'm saying? And DJ Durrell took a chance on me when we knew that the politics was high. So we Bullies with Foolies, not only did it change as far as the hip hop community, but just in the community with the violence as a whole, it opened the door for other rappers from Frisco and Oakland to start working together. And DJ Durrell started to be able to do more production with other artists from the city. Like, that's what the Bullies with Foolies did, because I blew up in Oakland. It's funny. I blew up in Oakland because Frisco wasn't ready for me. I was ahead of Frisco. Like I said, they was doing the Player Poppy Collar, and I was on some different time. I was on a different wave. So Oakland blew me up. Sean Kennedy, one of the biggest promoters from Oakland, he was running Def Jam at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, riding around. I had billboards all through Oakland. And let me tell you something. I don't care who you was. If you couldn't get Oakland to like your music, you wasn't going nowhere. Period.
Right.
Oakland is the biggest black city in Northern California, and if Oakland don't approve it, it's not going nowhere. You see what I'm saying? So my intentions was to conquer, right? To break the barriers of the politics between these two cities that's been going on for years. And on top of that, going and getting these other artists and building up these different fan bases, and then taking it on the road state to state. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that. So now ask me that question again that you just asked me.
Now listen, and you just told the true story. Guce is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and again, rewind it back to the history, the origin story, everything that I said. And you said something important, because remember, I told you too, right? I was in Oakland where we was unpacking Bullies with Foolies, right? So the fact that you just said what I feel a lot of people should understand, that you bridged the gap between Oakland, Frisco back in the day, and as tense as it was, you made it okay to be active and collaborate and work with other people, which then grew the brand, right? The brand was growing based on that, on taking a chance, like you said, right? And it needs to be put out there more and more and more about the history and the origin story. But, I mean, when it comes to collabs, though, you sought out some people, but sometimes you can collab with people and it just may not work just because of creative differences or whatever. How is that story bridging the gap between so many people that you worked with over the course of time, and you was able to fit and make it work with everybody? Because some people can't do that.
Well, the thing is about me is that I've always been humble. You know what I'm saying? And so my whole thing was meeting a person, feeling that aura, talking to them about it, and, just really just getting to know the people that, that you do music with. See, today things is different, right? Cats sending songs, over the email or whatever the case may be. But back then it was all about actually really physically connecting. And that's why the music came out to be the way that it was, because we were connecting. We was in there, we was being around each other. Cats was dealing with kids, family, going out to eat with each other. Like, it was more of a building process before it even be. The music was the connection, but then the relationships became, stronger and intertwined, and that's what made it be how it was. In regards to the question that you asked, it was about the relationships. The relationships is everything. I feel like people need to invest more in relationships, because relationships is wealth. And the relationships is what make things happen. I always, big people up and respect their creativity, no matter who it is. I show that respect and that love. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to have. I grew up in an era where I know what it's like. I know what love looked like. And so I always show love to every and any artist that I come in contact with. I always show love. You know what I mean? And so that's why. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I was going to say, I hear you talk about that, super passionate, and it reminds me of a conversation I had with Corrupt when he said the making of, not just the Chronic, but when everybody was in the studio You know what I'm saying? They had their weed, they had this, but they was all in there just cheering each other on. Even when they didn't have, you know what I'm saying, a session to be done, they were still riding for that person who was next up. You know what I mean? And just being able to have that good vibe, that good camaraderie, it is rare because now everything's different. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm a fast forward to now because, you know, now it's music is still music. Everybody putting out, but I just need people to understand like how deep it is that, you know, you won a championship, not just with the Bullies brand, but you won a championship, but you still hungry. You still putting out music. So dumbass question, but also a lot of the young people need to understand why are you still doing what you're doing even though you won all these championships?
Well, the reason that I still do what I do is because people want to know, you know, the younger generation want to know why I do the music. And then you got the people who don't want me to stop doing the music. And the answer to that question is the what you said in regards to that on how I impacted people's life, right? There's more to me than just music. You know, if a person's checking my page, I do PSAs, you know, and I got, you know, there's a lot more to me than just music. You know, watching me, also you can find out how to do business the right way, you know, from an executive perspective. You know, I introduce what artistry look like and then what the business looks like. You know what I'm saying? And I still continue to do music because, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I still got it. There's a fire in me that won't die. There's a fire in me that won't die. There's a gift that the Most High has blessed me with that He's not letting it burn out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going out. Like there's still more. There's still, like you said, I'm on that journey, so there's still more work to do. But music is the platform. Like music reaches the hearts of men. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so if there's anything that I want to offer you, I'm going to pull you in through my music, and then I'm going to offer you something better on, right? You like this track, you like that track, okay, but what about this over here? And so that's why I still do music, because I can get on my page and start, you know, promoting, you know, alcohol, doing food, merch, and all of that. And the engagement in the activity, it won't be the same when you're not able to put your pain on wax so that people can hear it. I've been through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And I got a lot to get off my chest. So, and I hate the fact that I keep saying, you know what I'm saying? But I have a lot to get off my chest and tell my testimonies, tell my struggle, tell my pain, talk to the people. Like everybody who raps talks about they're rich. But if you're somebody who have money, you know what rich looks like. It's not what the average person sees or thinks because they have jewelry on and red bottoms and cars that this is what rich look like. No, this is not what rich look like. But if everybody is rich, then where's the broke rappers at? You see what I'm saying? And so those are the people that I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to reach the people who are still in the struggle. I'm not trying to reach the people who their perception is reality with a twist to it. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they think they got to figure it out because they want to just continue to live like how they say today, cap. That's all cap. You know, they want to continue to still be in that realm. But I'm reaching the hearts of men who want to accept the true nature and aura of an individual that's human just like you, that loves just like you, that lost just like you, that goes through the ups and downs just like you, that got to pay bills just like you, that have relationship problems just like you, that got to raise their kids, that got to wash their clothes, that got to get up and cook. You know what I'm saying? That you know, one day you broke, one day you're not. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
That's why I do music. That's why I still do music, because I'm just like you.
Hey, Guce is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and you have music out, you have new music out, you have a lot, I feel, when you talk about that fire that has not been extinguished, that's just you adding on to a legacy that's already tremendous, and it is giving the game to the young people as far as consistency in this hip hop community. Have you ever had a stretch, and you talk about ups and downs, have you ever had a stretch where you were like, damn, I can't do this shit? Damn, I don't want to do this shit. The ups and downs that do come with certain things, have you ever had one of those moments?
I always I always had hope as far as, you know, my career is concerned. But that stretch moment is when I might have found myself, you know, at a certain point in time in my career not being, I wouldn't say not being true to the, I'm not going to say not being true, but I was looking at the industry, and you know when you're trying to keep up with the time, right? When you're trying to keep up with the time and you got all of these new styles, and you know, you got this melodic music and, you know, auto-tune, basically. They're changing it by calling it melodic, but it's auto-tune, right? T-Pain, Roger Troutman, whatever. It's auto-tune. So, you know, at a certain point in time, maybe around 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, I started to, like, just to show, right? I thought it was okay to show that you can do certain other styles of other people, you know, other people flows. You know, different artists came in the game, like Drake, and I'm just going to say Drake. Like, somebody like Drake came in the game. Drake, remember when we came up, it wasn't okay to bite, right? I can't rap like Killer Tay. If I rap like Killer Tay, everybody's going to turn on me. They're going to say, you suck. You're biting, like you're copying, right? Now, today, everybody can copy anybody. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Drake is a perfect example of an individual who does that. Like, he hears whatever these young cats do, and he just goes and he does it, and he does it well. And I'm not knocking it, right? But I found myself going down that road, and I didn't like where it was going, and neither did my fans. You know, and oftentimes you'll see comments where the fans will be like, "Oh, I love Guce all the way up until 2000 such and such, and he started doing that other shit." And you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I didn't really like that shit. It sucked, but I'm so glad he's back. He's bringing it back. He's got that, you know what I mean? And so we just have to keep up with the time, but stay true to the nature of who we are. Just sound better. Keep up with the words and have good production, and you'll be okay, you know. And so around 2011, 12, around there, that was the stretch that I had to where I was like, you know, fuck, I'm losing sight of, right? I'm losing sight of where we come from. We come from this mob music. I'm losing sight of that, and I gotta figure it out, because now I'm just trying to just do anything as if I'm trying to go, well, here, try this, see if this could catch. Or try this and see if this catches. Try this and see if this catches. And it just wasn't working. That was the stress that I had right then and there.
And I think that comes in a point in time of a lot of careers. I mean, obviously, you know, you've had so much of an impact on the game, and for the game to change the way that it has, because it's evolved differently. I mean, it's run differently. The business part of it's done differently. There's a lot of shit that's out there that, you know, you and I'm a radio guy, so I had those moments where I'm like, I don't know if I want to put this on, but the people do. So do I put it on? Because it's not true, but I believe, you know what I mean? Like, it's different. But the fact that you stay true to yourself, to me, is a testament of not backing down no matter what the fuck these people say. Like, I'm going to still do me, and then the people who talk to me, it's still going to be my audience. And then if I get some new ones who is on that other side that want to come over, cool, that's what's up. But you got to know history too, as far as why I stay true to what I stay true to, and that's important. But it's a lot of people out there, Guce, in this business who just, all right, I'm just gonna conform and I'm just gonna be this because that's what they want me to be. And I know you probably heard stories from hella people, for, you know, hella artists, you know, on their own journey but that's not yours. And I think staying true to your fan base is hella important in this day and age. It keeps your legacy rocking, right?
Right. You have to stay true to who you are, because that's when your fans can really represent, because that's how you get the newer fans, because your older fans, they still play your music, and then their kids are listening to your older fans play the music, and they being like, you know, Dad, Mom, who is that? Oh, this is Wooty Wooty Whoop. Well, you know what? Hey, I like that, because contrary to popular thought, these youngsters is smart as hell. and they do their research. These youngsters do their research. They be listening to old music, classic music. Why do you think you hear so many remakes over and so, everybody trying to flip something or do something that we've heard before? A lot of these youngsters, they always give me respect. I always hear somebody trying to rap over orange juice and a blunt for breakfast, or trying to, even Burner. I talked to Burner. I was in Miami, and I talked to Burner, and Burner wanted to reflip some of my music on the If It Ain't Really Ain't Official album, and stuff like that. And I'm just honored by it. I don't feel like I'm losing, but I feel like I'm honored. And he's been vocal about it on his page. Like, Juice is who I followed behind in regards to doing these collaborations. Nobody else was doing it. When I saw how Juice was doing it, then I started doing it. And so when you look at Burner's history, you'll see it's nothing but catalogs, nothing but catalogs. You know what I mean? And so, collaborations in his catalogs, nothing but collaborations. So it helps you continue to still gain new fans and working with the younger guys. I love to work with the younger guys. I love working with younger guys and newer talent. And if they don't know, enlighten them, because once they do, it's like all of the people that I run into and that I meet who may have heard but vaguely don't really know, when they get online and they do all the research and they go, damn, I didn't know that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know you put out the Sebo's My Figures album. I didn't know that Mozzie was running around with you in the beginning. I didn't know that you had Larry June with you in the beginning. I didn't know that you had Filthy. I didn't know that you had Jay Stalin. I didn't know that you was with all of these guys. I didn't know you was with that. That's you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love that music. But here's the thing, and we're gonna call a spade a spade.
Right.
These people who are in the industry, they're deliberately not acknowledging.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're deliberately not acknowledging. And with the way the game is today, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to sit back and let's see if he swim or drown. Well, sorry, this fire ain't going out, so I guess I'm going to be swimming. Right. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where it comes. That's where the whole flower shit come into play. Go ahead. You going to say something?
Yeah. You know what, Juice? The fact that you said that is exactly the reason why, not just me seeking you out, but also me letting the game be. It needs to be told in a sense where they are trying to push it aside for whatever reason, because they have their own agenda and how they do it. But sometimes these people and these higher ups in this industry nowadays is trying to sweep through, icons, legends, classic music that will never ever be ignored. But they just trying to all right, let's just go ahead and flood it with this and try to undercut, some of the good classic content that we used to have back in the day for the message that was put out, because a lot of what you had and your collaborations, and not just now to this day, but your classic shit, all that shit has messages that still resonate to this day and age. And I don't think people want to, they don't want the real, basically.
Well, the problem is with that, and, I don't believe that I'm overthinking, but the problem is with that is that I was never, they could never control me. You see what I'm saying? I always kick the doors open on my own. Oh, if you don't want to open the door for us, we're going to kick the door open, right? It's like how Pac said, we hungry, please feed us. How many times we're going to keep asking? After a while, we're going to start pushing the door. Then we're going to start kicking the door like, y'all going to feed us because the food is behind the door, and we're going to kick this door open and we're going to come get some of this food. And that's just what it's always been with me. Nobody's never had control for me, and I'm not going to say, nobody has control over me, and I'm not going to say that nobody never helped me, but what I will say is that I did everything on my own. Once I learned, I've paid my own money. I remember one time, it was Sugar Bear and San Quinn, and when I put them on the If It Ain't Really an Official album, that money came out of my pocket. They couldn't understand that, because most cats is used to having these big money dudes behind them paying for everything. But nah, I was living that life. I was in the streets. I was footing my own bill. And it's always been that way. Every Bullies or Foolies, every collaboration, the Giants and Elephants with Jay Stalin, the Gangsta and the Gentleman with me and Matt Black. I mean, the list goes on and everything that I was doing, but I was footing that bill and it was coming out of my own pocket. And so that's why people act the way they act. I can even go as deep as to saying when we started running around saying the word what it do. I mean, being from the Bay Area, you know, we are a people of slang. We create words like bruh and things like that. But if I come out with a song and say bruh, y'all don't want to acknowledge it. But if Plies come out with it, right, all of a sudden he run around talking about, hey, bruh, when we've been saying this for years. We've been saying what it is for years. I'm sitting in the radio station, I'm talking to Shauna G, and she's like, what it do? What does that mean? And I had the song. It was me, Kid said, Keek the Sneak. It was what it do. Frisco, Oakland. You know what I mean? Like, Keek was going crazy on the hood. Dip it, yoke it. We was talking about what it do. They didn't understand what it was. And then a year later, here it is, everybody on the radio talking about what it do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I was always ahead of time. They never could control me. I never slowed down and moved the way that they wanted me to move. So they just act like, okay, well, if I'm not the homeboy from the block next to them, then we're not going to acknowledge it. But the acknowledgement is going to come out of the people. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing, people like yourself is going to continue to keep pushing for the real. And I stand for the real today. Jack are gone, Mess gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. I'm still one of the last ones left that's coming from that era, from that generation, that's still out here looking vibrant, healthy, long hair, eating good, putting out great music today. You see what I'm saying? And that's just what time it is.
And it ain't stopping. You put my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and you got new stuff that's all on your Instagram. People need to go hit this man up at The Real Juice, Guce. Tell the people about just the videos you got rocking, the stuff that you got that's brand new. And I always say it like this because I saw some of your stuff on IG, and I mean, bro, you ain't never lost a step, my man. Like you ain't never. You still got to. Listen. I am good. I don't like when the next motherfucker sound like the next motherfucker, right? Like nobody can't sound like Juice. Nobody can't sound like Juice. Period. Juice has this specific style that is unprecedented, and I'm just keeping it solid. This nigga ain't got to sound like the next man or whatever. Like, you got your own style. So tell these people about your new shit. I just wanted to throw that out there because
I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate it. Bro, tell people.
Man, well, the first and foremost, my album that I just dropped that's available on all social platforms is called IBeatTheOdds. So it's Juice, Guce, IBeatTheOdds. And that's really, just me getting a lot of shit off my chest because I sat down for 7 years and I watched everything. I watched people who I got it out the mud with disappear on me, Other people still stuck around, you know what I'm saying? Like I went through so much, ups and downs with the kids, with the baby mama dramas, with the, going through 5 different attorneys and just, everything just went crazy for 7 years and I got to learn a lot and see a lot. So when I came out, I went straight to the studio and I dropped IBeatTheOdds because they gave me 20-something years, but I only did 7 and I gave them 14 years back because I won my appeal. So
there you go.
I'm 7 years behind on what everybody has been doing, but I'm not reacting. I'm interacting, if that makes sense, right? Because if I react, then I'm running around mad, right? I'm turning into the mad rapper because I feel like a lot of people that's in position right now, they took my spot. Yep. Right? Nah, I'm interacting. Like, okay, this is what it is. Well, watch this because it's not on me, it's in me. See what I'm saying? So this is why the new music is coming the way that it's coming because I don't see too much. I don't see too much that has changed, you know. And then as far as the videos, I'm just working. I'm having fun. I got with one of the top cameramen, you know. That's one thing about me. I go out and I seek shit to make things be the way they're supposed to be. You know, my cameraman,
right.
High Def, the one that's been shooting all of my work. That's the dude who brought you Chief Keef, who brought you Little Dirk, who brought you Soulja Boy, who brought you Dreezy, who brought you King Louis. You know, this is the guy who brought you drill music. I mean, some of his videos got, you know, billions of views. You know what I'm saying? And this is a guy that I got with. This is a guy that I got with that I didn't know from a can of paint. I just watched his interview and I reached out to him, and he didn't know me from a can of paint. But when he did his homework, his homeboys, they all knew who I was. What, Juice? You working with Juice from the legend from the Bay? Oh, nigga, that's a good look. And then from there we built, and it became magic. So right now I'm having fun. The only point I got to prove is to myself is that I still got it, and I'm pretty much doing that. So now it's just, you know, checking off the things to do list. I'm working on some new collaborations that's coming. That's gonna be phenomenal. Like, I swear, it's, you know, expect the unexpected when I say what I'm saying to you, because I'm just being quiet. I'm playing possum, you know. But I'm putting out good music, letting cats know that I'm getting back comfortable. I'm back in my element. So once it's on, it's on. I'm not stopping. So I'm having fun right now. I'm having a lot of fun, and it's gonna be a problem.
I can tell because it's different. And like I said, bro, I ain't had dialogue with you until now, but it's just something different about the way you moving that is great to see. Because I see, you know, I know you had a lot of control back in the day, but I see the freeness, I guess you could say, if that's even a word that I could say.
Yeah.
When I look at your IG and I see your videos, I see your visuals, I see, you know what I'm saying, I hear the music, and like I said, like, you know, your style is your style. Nobody can take that away from you. It's original as fuck, and it needs to stay that way. You know what I mean? But I just feel something different about how you putting out shit these days, and it's great to see, bro. It really is.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Because if you're saying that, it's a million other people that's saying it, you know, and I'm just being transparent, right? That's the word for it. I'm just being transparent. There's no cap. I'm not talking about shit I ain't got. I'm not talking about shit I ain't done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being transparent. I'm giving you my heart. And I'm telling you like the fuck it is. You know what I mean? This is me. Accept it or reject it. But this is me. I'd rather deal with a motherfucker that I know what to expect than to deal with somebody that I don't. And that's how I want people in the industry to look at me. You know what I'm saying? Know that you're going to get what you're going to get, because I'm being honest all the way across the board. You know? Period. Everything that's coming out of my mouth on these beats.
With music that people need to check out, videos that's available to go check out on his YouTube. Hit up my man Juice on Instagram at The Real Juice, Guce. Juice is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. And let me ask you this, man. How you feeling just about, not just, I mean, we kind of already talked about it, but just I'm gonna circle up the Bay right now. Like, how you feeling about the music in the Bay?
It's not what I feel. You know, feelings and emotions. What I think is they're losing their identity. They're not doing mob music. You see what I'm saying? And the reason that I say that is because, why are you guys, I'm not judging them. If this is what you want to do, that's okay. I'm all for it. Hopefully it works.
Yeah.
But when the Bay Area becomes a point to where we are the melting pot for the independent game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we independently, we're getting, like, Jim Jones didn't know about the Bay and what we do until he went to Koch and he found out that independently we're making more money than you rappers who have a major deal.
Right.
You're getting a percentage. We're getting $7. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
The artists, there's a lot of artists who are dropping the ball on these youngsters and not showing these youngsters. And I'm saying this, and the reason that I'm saying this because I got proof, right? You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when I did the Giants and Elephants tour?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I had everybody from the Bay on that tour, from Mr. Fab to San Quinn to Big Rich to Lil Blood to Filthy Rich, Keep the Sneak. I mean, the list go. Burner, Joe Blow.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Because this is what they taught. This is what I was taught from the Mac Dre's and the C-Bowls, and you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the stuff that I was taught from them guys that was on at the time. So I went and grabbed all my young homies and say, hey, we finna do us a big tour. We finna get on the road. We finna go get this money. And I learned that game from Tech 9. I went on tour with Tech 9, and then Tech 9 showed me, and Tech 9 sat me down on the tour bus. He said, look, I wasn't selling everything out at first. I was doing shows, and there was only 100 people showing up. But I kept going back, kept going back. So I got a team together. I got with some people. We put some contracts together. How I learned from Tech 9 going across the United States doing shows, and you know, boom, I brought that game back to the Bay, and I got all my homeboys, and we went and got to that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We went and got to that bag. In fact, Lil Blood just did an interview, and he was talking about, when he was on tour, he was talking with he was talking with somebody, but he was just bringing up the fact that he was on tour. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That you're not even thinking about any other thing other than the fact that experience of that tour. Be the Weeder too. You mentioned Be the Weeder. He was on the tour too. Shady Nate, Stevie Joe. You know, all my guys. Like, that essence of what I brought to the game, it's gone.
Yep.
It's gone. Cats are not looking out for each other like that no more. There's no way that they should feel comfortable getting on a podcast or on a radio show or doing anything and saying ain't no stars in the Bay. Why it ain't no stars in the Bay? Because you niggas ain't doing what y'all supposed to do. Why are y'all trying to sound like Detroit when Detroit sounds like us?
Right.
Everybody in the Midwest grew up off of Bay Area music.
Yep.
Up-tempo beats and fast rapping, that comes from us. I'm not knocking what they do in Detroit. I love what they're doing. They pushing, they sticking together, they doing what they saw the Bay Area doing.
Yep.
And they coming out with that mob music from their perspective. The Bay has lost the mob music. Stop trying to sound like everybody else. That's the thing. How you gonna do a song with the Migos if you trying to rap like the Migos?
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? Them niggas don't want to do songs with a nigga that's trying to do their style against them on that. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like,
that's what made it attractive. That's what made it attractive to a lot of people from other spots to come fuck with Bay artists, right? Because you had people like, remember the day when, you know, I believe it was Banks and Short, like they left. You know, they did some work in Atlanta, you know, and they did what they did or whatever. And then a lot of people from that way wanted to sound like what you just said with the Bay, right? Like they just wanted the Bay sound. But you're so right. Like, listen, I'm going to put it in perspective like this because, you know, me being deep in the radio, and I listen to all kinds of shit, just like you have, you know what I'm saying, so invested in the sound music, not just Bay music, but all music. You know, you drive down Oakland now, it's not the same. It don't feel right. It's like, you know, it's super gentrified. It's just not, you know, you drive down certain sections. It's just, man, it's different in the last 30 years. And I get it. I get the change. I get how, you know what I'm saying, we all got to, you know, grow, right? But I don't see growth. I just see stagnant, right? I just see something that's just, it's stuck. Somebody's waiting to, you know, give it a rebirth. But it's not just going to take Juice or Branded on this radio station. That's going to take people out there to just help other people understand what the mission is. Be your own individual self. If you from the Bay, rep the Bay. Take that shit somewhere else. You know what I mean? You can take the Bay sound to Florida. You can take it to, wherever else you want to take it. And people are gonna appreciate that shit. They don't want you to conform and be like that.
When you're doing good music, you don't gotta sound like nobody else. You could jump out.
That's it.
And you can perform anywhere, and they're gonna feel it and respect it. Man, it literally, like, it hurts my heart to hear you saying it, because as you saying it, I can see it with my eyes, right? And I know that it didn't used to be like that. It used to be to a point to where we was proud to support our own. And that's what brings me to another thing about this whole politics shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a man. Stop letting other people entice you or incite you to have an incentive to not like another person when you don't really even know why. You know, There's too much of this politics. There's too much of this, oh, I don't like him, so you shouldn't like him. Nah, be a man. If you ain't really out there gangbanging on some shoot 'em up, blah, blah, blah shit, you know, this shit is crazy how they letting rap become the side taker. Like, oh, I do music with you, and I don't like this person, so you can't do no music with this person.
Yeah.
But it just reminds me. It reminds me of penitentiary, right? And in the penitentiary, they say, you know, don't become friends with an individual over a bowl of soup. Now, I'll tell you what that means, right? You'll be sitting at the table with a cat, and he'll be sitting there talking, and he'll be like, don't mess with him. He a snitch. Okay, well, if he a snitch, why you telling me? Why you ain't done anything about it? This dude over here, he mess with gay people. But you just moved this dude into your cell, and he gay. Well, you know, he's taking care of me. He's doing this and that. See, it's always, you know, I can impose my will on you, but I can do the fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? It's do as I say do, but don't do as I do. That behavior got to change.
Exactly.
They're getting in the way of their careers in the Bay Area by all of this politics, clicking up, gangbanging shit, or whatever they want to call it, however much they want to put their emphasis on it to make it seem like it's justifiable. It's not. That's just some bullshit. When these cats start being mad, because there's a lot of individuals from the town, from the Bay Area that have good music, but they can't get off the block because they don't know that when you make these dumbass decisions and listen to another person who can't do nothing for you to make you believe that you shouldn't be cool with this person, you're not keeping a cheat off of you. And easily, these people are shutting the doors on you individuals out there. They're shutting the doors on you just by saying, you know, I don't fuck with him. They don't even got to hate on you. They can just say, I don't fuck with him. Oh, you don't fuck with him? Well, if you don't fuck with him, then I ain't fucking with him. Huh?
Yeah.
Go and meet this man first or woman first before you just decide to say, you don't even know why this person even got a issue with this person. You know what I mean? Like, go and see for yourself. Build with people for yourself. People stop building. People stop building the relationships. Everything is stopped. Everything is getting cut off. And then there's only people who are smart that are putting themselves in position, and then they're saying, well, hey, fuck all y'all. I'm on already. So I ain't got to deal with none of the I'm not dealing with y'all no more. I'm on. It's whatever. And you'll be the same person. It'll be the same person that'll use individuals from the Bay to get in position and then say, fuck the Bay. Because now they running around with niggas from the South and niggas from the Midwest and doing whatever they doing in Hollywood or whatever the case may be. And that is what's killing the game. The politics, the capping, the disloyalty, you know, these are the things that are killing off the culture in hip-hop in the Bay Area. And it just has to change. I'm going to continue to be – say it again?
No, you said something that's hella deep because people stop building. Juice is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. You say that and in his home because it's really why things are stagnant in certain parts of what we do in life in general, not just the hip-hop community, music in general, how we even build a business or brand or whatever it is you're trying to build or whatever. People don't support people, but also people will have a different twisted view on support that's so crazy nowadays. That's ridiculous. And I don't know. I mean, I felt that, like, in my lifetime listening to Bay music, in my lifetime, I felt those collaborations because it was unorthodox, but it was needed for growth. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you started doing your Bullies with Foolies shit, like the collaborations that I never thought I would hear, right? I heard, and I'm like, damn, that's a change right there. And it felt different. It was like the team-ups was so important to hip-hop, right? And we don't have it, or it doesn't feel like it should based on the agendas that you just said earlier. And it's just, I had to say that, man, because that got me, because that's how I feel, man. Like, we got to change that. In order for us to do that, we will never see excellent business become even bigger than what it is. Everybody's just going to stand still.
Yeah, they're going to stand still looking for the next mistake they can make to go viral. You know, cats are looking for, you know, cats are looking to blow up off of drama. You know what I'm saying? Cats is proving themselves. You know, I was telling my son today, we was having a conversation, and, you know, rest in peace to the young man that got killed out there in Manteca. His name was Slow B, and he just got killed the other day. And, you know, I was telling my son, like, I was like, well, you know, the problem is that somebody else got killed just around the time that he got killed, but you won't know who that is. He was like, things are crazier. I said, no, things ain't crazier. It's just that things are more exposed now because of social media. Son, people been getting murdered. We've been having bodies dropped. It's been shit going on through Richmond, Oakland, Frisco. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit ain't nothing new. It's only new to y'all because everybody on the internet talking about it. And I told my son, I said, let me tell you something. If Slow B wasn't a rapper, you wouldn't even know that nigga got killed.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? I said, so don't be fooled by, you know, how people are making it on social media. And, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about this young man. I don't know, you know, I never met him. You know what I mean? But a lot of rappers be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I seen one cat get on his IG Live, and they were celebrating that dude got killed, right? And so I thought to myself, now, this young man just got on IG Live and just popped a bottle and smoked a blunt and drinking to the death of this young man. So why the fuck should I feel sorry for him when they come and kill him for what he did on IG, right? No, see, I don't feel sorry for if he dies. I feel sorry, right? Because I feel empathy because of the ignorance and being lost and thinking it's okay to be that way. That's where the pain and the hurt comes to me. It's like, why do you feel like that's some gangster? Like, who taught you to think like that? Who taught you to be the way? Because this behavior is something that's being taught. It's not something that we're born with. You get what I'm saying? I ain't trying to, you know, I know your show is set to go a certain way. But me, I can't help but being me. The conversation, we'll start off talking about something, but I gotta go deep. I gotta talk. No, you good, bro. You good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta talk about the real shit that's going on, because nobody be wanting to really have these conversations. There's a few individuals that I tip my hat to, but that ain't enough. You know what I mean? And you know, there's no rules and regulations in the game no more. There's no respect no more. There's no big homies. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. I was talking to my guy today. I was having a three-way. It was me, Gold Toes, and my guy Sean from Black and Brown. We was having a conversation today, and we were talking about, you know, dealing with our kids. And he was just, you know, we're genuinely asking each other, how you doing, man? What's going on? Right?
Right.
And he was talking about his kids, and he was talking about how he got twins, and one of them got up on the chair, and the other one pushed the other one off the chair, and he went over there and he said, hey, no, y'all don't be like that, and he put them both on the chair together, and they was hugging each other and having fun, and they didn't have no more problems sharing the chair together. I said, see, you taught them a different behavior. I said, hatred is taught. You see what I'm saying? Hatred is taught.
Right.
Other parents may have sat there and not reacted the way you reacted, and then their kids grow up getting at each other just from that incident right there on the chair. You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
Oh, you push me off the chair. Next time I see you, I'm going to trip you, or I'm going to push you. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And so we have to teach this. We have to teach these things. And then I understand, bro. I understand for the next legacy listeners, I understand the fact that a lot of these older cats are scared to death of these young men out here.
Right.
They don't want to deal with that shit. Oh, no, I ain't dealing with that. Them niggas crazy. They out there shooting shit up. No, you got to have heart. Even if you could save one of them out there is sharp enough to realize that you're trying to do something better for them. You see what I'm saying? But if you just turning your back on them and just walking away from them, that's all you can say? Oh, man, them young niggas out there, nigga, they can have that shit. Well, you the one left the dishes out there dirty.
Exactly.
You didn't get no detergent and wash the dishes before you got off the block. So how you going to get off the block but not teach them how to get off the block and then get over here in your big house on the hill and then talk about them like they not shit? This is the cycle that got to be broken, and I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Nah, and it's not only true to form. It's to me, it's just a bad habit. You know how, you know, and I was telling this to people in general, and since you're going to take it there, let me take it there. So
come on.
I always talk about generational curses, right? Not all curses are all negative and bad. Some of them, you could be the first dude to own a house or go to college or whatever the fuck, right? Like, but there are the generational curses that can carry with you. Like, I was a part of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not having my dad around, you know, wanted me to be the opposite of that my dad was. You know what I mean? Like, I just, you know, but I insist that in my daughter at the end of the day to be like, look, this is what I want to do, and this is how we gonna do it together. Transparency, communication, and wanting to help the, you know, child that you have and other kids too. You know what I mean? Just grow, be more, do more at the end of the day, right? So it's deep when you say shit like that because it gets me, because this is the kind of bad generational curses that has affected us for generations on end, and that cycle's got to get broken, and it's going to be up to, you know what I'm saying, the people that can give game, but also the people that want to soak it in and just do different at the end of the day. How you handle your business, how you handle your music business, how you handle your life, your kids, whatever the fuck that's going to make you bigger than what you are right now. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't do that. They just want to go with the flow, or they just want to stay hating on the next motherfucker, or they want to just stay stagnant, like we said earlier. You know what I mean? But it's going to take something more than just that. You feel me? And a lot of people miss that, or a lot of people don't understand that there is always, when you peel back the layers of your life and how your family structure was, there is certain things that you want to break, the bad habits or whatever the fuck, right? Good or bad. But a lot of people tend to look at it differently, or they ignore it, or they're, well, this is just how I am. You know what I mean? And I don't give a damn how old you are or how young you are. You can still have that mentality about wanting to break shit. Be a good-ass businessman. If your family wasn't business people, then go be one. Go do that and be bigger than that. But a lot of people miss that shit, man, seriously.
Yeah, they do. And it's because of, you know, like I said, the individuals who, you know, they leave the dishes dirty, you know, and don't want to go back and clean it up. And it's, you know, if you could save one, you know what I mean? Like, reach back, give back, you know. And I don't mean give back like proving you tough by going and standing on the corner. That's ignorant shit. You know, that's another cycle that got to be broken. Like, you become successful, and the only way you can prove that you a man is by going and standing on the corner for somebody to come up and kill you, or for somebody that's with you to kill somebody else, right? Because when you look at that situation, you're putting everybody at risk, even your security as a famous rapper. You know, these dudes just trying to do a job. Why are you trying to put them in harm's way deliberately? oh, we finna go over here on the block. Well, you know it's murders and shit going on. You know, so that's another ignorant cycle that got to be broken. Like, you ain't real if you can't come back to the hood. Well, it's not about coming back to the hood. It's about doing better in the hood, providing for the hood, creating opportunities for the hood. You know, go after some of that government funding and build some safe havens in the community and do some things that need to be done. But this, like I say, everything ain't for everybody. But somehow, some way, if you're in position, you got to use the platform that you got to do something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. And then other people will start to be a part of the situation. I don't never want to be the smartest person in the room. I always want to be able to listen. That's another thing. We got to learn to listen. How can you answer a question, or how can you assess what's going on or what needs to be done to be able to implement any type of programs if you're not listening to the voices that's telling you what needs to be done? If you already feel like you got, say it again.
You just said something, Juice. While you saying that everybody should listen, let me add on. Sorry to cut you off, but let me add on.
Come on, no, you good. Go ahead.
You just said something that's true to life. So you said everybody should listen, but you also gave that hidden gem that everybody should also comprehend what somebody is saying to somebody at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because you can listen all day, but you got to comprehend and understand what the fuck is going on, like, so I can understand. And I'm learning this still today, bro. I mean, you know, I didn't get it overnight. I mean, I'm still learning this shit because we all fuck up, or we just want to hear what we want to hear, but then sometimes you got to slow it down. You got to assess it for what it is. So I had to throw that out there because you said 2 layers of game at the same time. So I just wanted to let you know what's up.
That's real. That's real. And it's okay because, like I said, at the end of the day, I had to sit back and listen. That's a thing that I learned, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing. So I appreciate you saying that. That's what being transparent is all about. If what I was taught was, if somebody says, ooh, and they raise their hand, let them speak. They might say some $1 million shit, and if we don't let them speak, they may forget whatever it is that was put in their heart to say. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I had to be quiet and say, go ahead, let that out, because it's not about me just running my mouth. We're having a conversation, right?
Yeah.
We're having a conversation, and that's what interviews are supposed to be about. They're supposed to be about having a conversation and displaying what a conversation looks like, not yelling at each other. You should see some of this shit that be on IG Live. It's crazy. You got 4 people, 4 screens up, and they all yelling. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how you have a conversation.
You know why, right? Because they all want to be the star of the show. They all want to make sure that they be heard and nobody else can hear. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, to me, that's not even real shit. Juice is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. I can talk to you forever, but I do got 2 more for you. One, this one's a little different. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you broke out in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, fashion was a different kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Here we are, 2022. Things are still different. So if you could take one fashion, maybe let's just go with 2 or 3. I'll give you whatever you want. If you could take 2 or 3 fashion items from the 90s that you can bring back in 2022, what would it be?
Well, I guess it's already done because of the vintage. It would be, you know, starter jackets, like the starter coat.
Okay. Coming back, I got you.
Right. And it would be, let me see, in the 90s, shit, everybody, these youngsters, they love wearing that old school shit. What would it be? You remember, do you remember the Travel Fox or the Buffalinos?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I like it. Hey, that shit was dope. You know, the Travel Fox and the Buffalinos. Yeah, man, those would be the items that I could still rock to this day. Which the Travel Foxes and the Buffalinos, they don't make them anymore. Maybe somewhere overseas or something. But the starter coat and the whole vintage look is coming back into play. Like a lot of these cats like wearing the hats and the jackets, and you even see cats starting to wear Ibizus and bakes again. You know, it's just crazy how as long as you rocking it the right way, you know, I've seen cats rocking members only jackets. You know what I'm saying? Like MCM, that comes from the 80s. They was wearing that back in the 80s, you know, so that whole culture back then, I could rock today and be just fine. Nipsey Hussle did it with the long socks and the short rest in peace Nip, with the long socks, and the cutoff shorts and the Puma shoes, the low top Pumas. You know, that's all come from the 90s and the 80s. That whole thing, everything we're doing, the cats don't even realize how old the Air Forces are. You see what I'm saying? They don't even realize how vintage and nostalgic that what they're wearing is, you know. So I like that question. That was a good question.
Nobody really touching the remember the overalls with the one strap off. Like nobody ain't touching that these days, though. I don't think.
I was thinking about bringing that back in one of my videos. I think I'm glad you brought that up. Matter of fact, let me write that down right quick.
Hey, Jack, Juice over there taking notes just so he could go back to it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with this one. Because
you think about it, you know, all it takes is for me to just start doing that in about 2 or 3 videos, and it's gonna catch fire. Cats gonna start doing it again, because it just depends on how it looks. But then you'll have those designers, they'll take it and they'll put a little extra on it, and you know, put their logo on the back of it, right? I can take some 501s and I can take some regular overalls and look just as good. But I guess if I don't have, Louis Vuitton logo on the back of it, or Gucci back on the back of it, then it doesn't have as much effect, right? But we can go get a pair of Guess overalls. Remember the Guess? Remember the Guess overall? You know what I'm saying? Like, just go get a regular pair of Guess overalls and throw it together with a nice fit hat, some shoes, and you rocking, man. And we in the video. I'm gonna do that. Remember, I said I'm gonna do it. Just remember, I said that.
Come on, man. You know I need to be there with you, right? Need to be there with you. Right?
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. I would love for us to just stay in contact with each other, man, and just keep building and just working with each other and whatever we can do outside of, the interview and doing what we're doing here today, turning it into something else that could be great for others. Maybe we could possibly even do this interview again from a live perspective, or, maybe when I'm in the Bay Area, we can link up and do some shit,
So here's what I'm going to do. Juice is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. So as we bring this to a close, here's what Juice do not know. So I'm going to put him on what we're about to do right now. And I feel like this is going to be a testament to not just how I feel about your music, because, this station is a station that I own. I run the content. I can put whatever out, right? So when this airs, I am doing a full Juice Grassroots on Monday hip-hop collaboration where we running all your shit. This interview, all of it. Bullies with Foolies Day is official that we're going to air. Not only will I tag you, you can tag your people. We can celebrate all your music, and we can run it in blocks, celebrating not just the iconic status of what you've done to the community, but what you continue to do with pushing this line of music and your gifts of game that you can be able to get everybody else. That's what we run.
Right.
Because we do it, we control it, and we had the opportunity to be able to keep putting this out there so our listeners that is upon the millions globally can fuck with this brand and understand that Juice is bigger and bigger and bigger based on everything that you just said for this last hour. Not just my appreciation. Because think about it. You know what I'm saying? You came out in the 90s, tapes was rocking, whatever, but people tend or realize that, 90s was way back when. But like I said, to start this interview, it's like we grew up together. So, again, I had this opportunity. I appreciate this opportunity. And I appreciate you still pushing the line to still inspire others to do it. You know what I mean? Like, not do whatever, not just make music, but also be your best businessman, woman, or child. You feel me? And that's what you have brought to the table when it comes to me. Like, I had no idea over the last 15 years I've been doing this shit, right? No idea that this was going to set me up so I can be able to do more shit, right? So a lot of it was inspired by music, bro. So, again, true to life, I appreciate you, Juice. We will still network and work on things, and you still have, like, a home right here, bro. You had a home before you even realized that. Nexxlegacy is a good look. So this is yours to have, bro. Seriously. So I really and truly appreciate the efforts, the gifts, the fact that you stuck with it, and the fact that you still doing it at a high level. You haven't retired. You haven't. You know what I'm saying? You're not like Jordan with the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? You still 97, 98 Bulls, Jordan. You feel me? You feel me? You know what I mean? You still putting it in at a high level. Because you sound, on your videos, I mean, real shit, you sound hungry, bro. You sound like you still starving, that you never had success. And that's a good thing to see.
I appreciate that, man. I really, honor and appreciate you just letting me know what you see. That's just confirmation and affirmation of what other individuals have been telling me. Like I'm about to post up. I'm about to put another post up where I'm in the studio, just going bananas on some shit, and it's just I don't know what to. All I could say is, bro, like, it's a blessing. It's a gift that it's this fire in me, and it just it's not going to die, bro. It's not going nowhere. And I always tell people this: the guy who built KFC, my motherfucker might be like, well, what does this have to do with music? Well, here's the thing: the dude who started KFC, he was 70-something years old. I think he was like 77 or somewhere around there. And he did that. He did KFC. Whether it's music, whether it's KFC, whether it's music, whether it's the food industry, whether it's technology, whether you in the real estate, whether you into marketing and promotions for any type of line of work. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have to be entertainment. It's never too late. Like, people always want to say shit like, oh, dinosaur fossils, or, those are the people, you want those type of people around. I love when somebody says that I can't do something. That just adds fuel to the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, continue to keep telling me that I can't do it, because there's a lane for everybody. People can say what they want to say. Ice Cube and Snoop still doing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Still having sold out concerts, doing all kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? But it all reverts back to the music. None of these opportunities would be available if any of these artists became whack.
Yep. That's real.
50 Cent still doing it, right? He's still dropping music. He got power. He doing movies. He doing all that. But he still reverts back to the fucking music. It's all about the music. So whatever it is that you do, continue to keep doing that. Don't stop doing that. Even when the other doors open and those other opportunities, you don't ever have to get to a point to where it's like, oh, I just can't do it no more. Okay, well, if you old and you just tired and you say, I'm gonna retire or whatever the case may be, then I understand that. That's your choice. But if you still got it, That's that shit.
No expiration date on it. If you got the hunger to want to still do it at a high level, I mean, you can do what the rap game has no expiration date. Period. If you still got it, still need to get it done, you can, man. Come on, man. You can do that shit.
What is that dude? The Grouch? Is that his name?
Yeah.
The Grouch, the nigga that the Indo weed smoke.
Oh,
man,
that
nigga 50-something. Man, that nigga almost 60 years old or something, man. He's still running around doing tours. Look at KRS-One.
Still.
Stay healthy, eat good, look good, be happy, be positive, wake up doing something better every day, and I guarantee you're going to still be able to be successful at what you do. And with all of the accomplishments, like you said, that I've accomplished, you know, one of them being the first one to be on MTV, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
You know, when it's things like that, you go, you know, okay, well, you've seen a lot, you did a lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm still hungry like I just got in it. That's how I ended up winning my appeal. I'm hungry. I told them, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to beat this thing. I told the judge that when they said I was guilty. Y'all railroaded me. You definitely got some appealable issues. Do you want to appeal this? Yeah, I want to appeal this. I'm going to appeal this. Took me 7 years to fight it. I had to go in there. I had to learn case law. I had to go to the law library. I had to learn what prosecutorial misconduct is, judicial misconduct, ineffective assistance of counsel. I had to learn about the right to fair trial and due process. I had to learn about what grandfather case law is. I had to learn about new case laws becoming retroactive. I had to learn a lot of stuff in order for me to succeed on coming home and to be here to talk to you today. And guess what?
That's right.
You don't hear no operator in the background telling you that we only got 30 seconds left. You feel me?
That's right. That's real. Real shit.
You feel me? So, man, you know, stay hungry and just keep pushing, man. Just stay hungry, keep pushing, man. Whoever out there listening, stay hungry, keep pushing.
I appreciate
Nexxlegacy.